Do your little ones ever walk into the dramatic play center and they just don't know what to do? It may be because you're missing this one important step. Hi, I'm Andrea with Everyday Inspired Play. Today we're chatting about role play, and I'm going to share 3 reasons it is essential to add role play into your instruction, lessons, or into your introduction to your dramatic play center, especially if it's a new setup. And honestly, I am so guilty of skipping this practice. For years, I was setting up these beautiful, fun, inspired, inviting dramatic play centers, but the children didn't always know what to do. They were playing inappropriately, making a mess, arguing with each other. Because of these mistakes, I've learned better ways to make dramatic play more fun, engaging, and effective. Let's talk about these 3 reasons to add role play when instructing your dramatic play. Role playing is always a lot of fun, and it really can be done at any time. It can be done when you're introducing the dramatic play center. It can be done while the children are playing and you engage with them in the dramatic play center, or it can be done after the dramatic center is cleaned up and you are at circle time. You may be reviewing things that you saw during their free play time. The first reason, which is really important, is we need to teach children how to play. A lot of times children come to the dramatic play center and they may not know what is in the center, especially if you started the year with something very simple like the kitchen or the home center. Hopefully you're introducing new things into the dramatic play center as the year goes on. So children may not know how to play with the center. For instance, if they're at the Pancake House restaurant, this is the perfect time to do some role playing with your children. I love to role play with the kids. But it also is perfect if you have a teaching partner or an assistant. That's a great way to start. But as they get into role playing a little bit more, I love to bring the kids in, have them engage with me. They always think it's funny or silly. So have fun with it. And remember, these are little kids and they're not going to judge you in any way because they're going to love if you're playing with them. Just have fun with it. If we're at the Pancake House, this is the perfect time to introduce some things of how to play. Some children may never been to a restaurant before, so they don't know that you have to wait to be seated, or that you use a menu, or that you sit at a table. So this is the perfect time to play. You might say, "Welcome to the Pancake House. Would you like to have a seat? I have a seat over here at table number 3. Come with me." And then, of course, we talk about how we sit correctly at the seat. Maybe you hand them a menu. "Here's your menu. I'll be right back to take your order. Are you ready for me to take your order? You want pancakes? Great. How many pancakes do you want? Yeah, they're really good. You might want to eat 2 of them. You want bananas and chocolate chip? Great choice. And what would you like to have to drink? Milk or orange juice?" By having fun with it, it's really showing them how to pretend play, how to engage with their friends, and have a good time. Looking at the materials that you have, you may want to introduce how to use some of those different materials. The Pancake House is perfect for sharing how to make their pancakes. So here are their pancakes, and you have to put the syrup on, right? And remember, they ordered banana slices. So I can put my banana slices on there. Oh, and they ordered chocolate chips. So I'm just going to carefully place the chocolate chips on top of my pancake and not on the floor. Also, it's a great way to role model how we don't really eat the food at the Pancake House, because it's all pretend, and you could pretend and model, pretend to cut it, you could pretend to put your syrup on, maybe add some butter. It's so delicious. Number 2 is one of the big things, is why we have dramatic play in our room to begin with, is to build vocabulary and language skills. So when you're starting out, it's really important to introduce some of the new vocabulary that your children may not know, such as in the Pancake House is a restaurant. Maybe they don't know the word restaurant, or they have not been to a restaurant before, so need some background knowledge. Or maybe a restaurant can also be called a diner, so you can introduce new vocabulary for the different ages and abilities you may have in the classroom. Also, this is a great one to introduce some of the materials they'll be using that they may not be familiar with, like a skillet, or some children call it a frying pan, or the whisk, or of course you need a spatula to flip your pancakes, mixing bowl, measuring cup. So if you're the cook and you're cooking up the pancakes, you're going to need to know some of those vocabulary words. And remember, as children are learning, they need to hear it from adults. They're just not going to magically know what these words are, even if there's pictures and labels and things. Even with the simplest of the fruits, maybe the strawberries, the blueberries, they might not be familiar with them, and they tend to mix those up, especially the berries like raspberry, strawberry, blueberry. So this is a great way to make sure you're reading those labels to the kids, pointing out those labels to them while they're playing, and correcting them if they're saying them incorrectly, of course in a positive and fun way, by modeling for them the correct vocabulary and ways to use that vocabulary will help children begin to play on their own using that vocabulary and taking ownership of their new words. And number 3, modeling those important social skills, which is another big reason we have dramatic play in the classroom, because it builds such great social skills. This is the perfect time to reintroduce or practice some of the social skills they'll need. And throughout the year, you will have different social skills that you can target based on dramatic play area. For instance, at the restaurant, you have to definitely learn how to sit in a chair and a table. We don't put food on the floor. So all of those skills can be shared, practiced, modeled correctly. Also, you have to wait your turn. Those are important skills. Always a cleanup. So modeling how to clean up. If you're putting the strawberries back in the banana cup, that's going to make a mess and it's going to confuse the next person that comes along. There are so many social skills that can be modeled through dramatic play. So it's a great way to watch to see what your class needs, and then you can either engage them as they're playing, so you can play with them and role play and correct behaviors that you want to see better, or correct social skills. If there's an argument, you can model what to do and how to solve it. Rather than just telling them what to do, you can actually step into the role as the instigator or the problem solver. You can also do it at the end after everybody's cleaned up. You could go into the dramatic play area and just start doing some of the things you've seen. Like maybe they're throwing things around, so you start throwing the strawberries and things. Of course, your kids are either going to laugh hysterically, and I always ask them, what's wrong? What's wrong? And they love to point out what you're doing incorrectly. So that's a great time to say, oh, so I'm not supposed to throw the strawberries around? I'm not supposed to toss the pancakes in the air? Of course, hopefully they say, no, you're not supposed to be doing that. And then we talk about the correct way to do it. And sometimes I have one or two of my friends come and show me what to do. And then I say, oh, great, I'm so glad that you're here to help me out. And I can learn how to do things correctly, because I want to be an example to all my friends. So I know I'm not going to throw around the pancakes anymore. Again, role playing can be so powerful, and it's a step that you don't want to miss, especially in your dramatic play area. So make sure while you are role playing that you are teaching them how to play. You're helping them build new vocabulary and language skills so they can play independently. And you are practicing those all-important social skills that they will need beyond your classroom. When you've done all of that and you're having a great time role-playing and engaging with your students, you are helping build confidence for your little ones. They're being invited into play. Maybe they didn't know how to engage before. Maybe they've never been to a restaurant and they don't know how to sit down. All of those things could be scary for our little kids, especially when we're trying to bring out their imagination and bring out their creativity and their confidence. Your little ones will love to engage more often and for longer periods of time because you have given them that foundation. I hope this has given you some reasons to try to role play within your dramatic play center. If you want more ideas on the Pancake House, make sure to watch my dramatic play ideas and inspiration of the Pancake Restaurant. And don't forget to follow me and join me each week as I share ideas and inspirations for developing an engaging dramatic play center. And don't forget, every day is a great day to play and learn.